Welcome to Fanatics Live, where we virtually connect you with your favorite stars and athletes right at home. Tonight, we will be meeting with fans, signing autographs, and engaging in live Q&A. Now, let's welcome our host.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Fanatics Live, where we are all about bringing your favorite athletes to you right at home. I'm your host, Jessica Blaylock, and I'm so pumped about introducing you to today's special guest because he plays the greatest sport of all time, hockey. But first, just a reminder, make sure you're on the lookout for your chance to join upcoming shows. Be sure to follow Fanatics on Instagram and Twitter for future giveaway opportunities and for information on how to meet your favorite athletes, just like our three guests joining us in just a moment. But now it's time to introduce you to Adam Fox. When you think elite young defenseman around the league, New York Rangers D-man Adam Fox should be at the top of the list. He's only 24 years old, and he already has a Norris trophy under his belt. In fact, he's the only other player besides Bobby Orr to have ever won the Norris before his third NHL season. As far as this year is concerned, he ranks top 10 in the league for goals by a defenseman and top 4 when it comes to points by a blue liner. He's a core part of not only the Rangers D, but the lineup in general. Without further ado, let's welcome in Adam Fox. Adam, how are you?
For having me. Thanks for having me.
I love getting a chance to talk to hockey players. It's literally my favorite. So looking at last year, you guys beat a really good Pittsburgh team in the playoffs, a really good Carolina team in the playoffs. You made it all the way to the conference finals. This year, you're right in the thick of it, currently third place in the Metropolitan Division. What lessons did you learn last year, especially in that playoff run, that you've been able to apply to this year?
Yeah, I think last year we were kind of playing with house money, to say a little bit. No one really expected us to do too much. We were coming off a rebuild, and we kind of took that as motivation. And, I think when we got to the playoffs, it took us a little bit to maybe find our footing. We were down, and we were able to come back in that first series. And like you said, got to the conference finals, but I think coming up short motivated us this year. We had a little stretch where we weren't playing our best and, maybe thought, things were just going to be handed to us because of last year. But now that we kind of got rolling, we got some momentum behind us and, we're feeling pretty confident right now.
And now such an exciting team in the NHL. In addition to you, you've got players like Chris Kreider, Mika Zibanejad, Igor Shesterkin, Artemi Panarin. I mean, you go down the list, you're such a talented group of players, but every team can always get better. What are you hoping that the team maybe adds before the trade deadline to really put you over that edge?
Yeah, I mean, I think, like you said, we got a lot of star power, within the league, but at the same time, I think to win, like we were doing last year in the playoffs, you saw the depth scoring and the contributions from everyone. It's not going to be the same three guys every night. It doesn't work like that all the time. Obviously, your top guys want to contribute, but it takes everyone. And, last year we added some really good players at the deadline. Obviously I like the lineup we have now, but, every team, seems to, trying to add a piece or two there, just kind of complete your roster and make that push at the trade deadline.
Now you grew up on Long Island, and that's the correct way to say it, right? Because I've said in Long Island before and been corrected. It's on Long Island, right?
It's on. Yep, it's on Long Island.
So you grew up on Long Island. Your family growing up, I believe, held season tickets for Rangers games, and now you get to put on that uniform. Is that still a little surreal? How do you describe what that means to you to be able to play for the Rangers, that feeling you get every time you take the ice?
Yeah, it's definitely a bit normal now. I think early on it was, definitely a little crazy and surreal, but, I've normalized to it now. But, obviously I'm pretty fortunate to, grow up around the area, have my family come to pretty much every home game. So, for me, it's obviously, an awesome experience. And, sometimes, you get caught up in the season, but, when it's over and the season ends, you kind of sit back and, think about how fortunate I am to be able to play for a team that, I grew up rooting for. And, have my parents, my brother come to, pretty much all the home games too.
Yeah, I had a chance to take a look at your Instagram, and I love the picture that you posted that you found of you as a little kid wearing your Rangers jersey. It's just the coolest thing. Now we have the opportunity.
Yeah, I got to bring that. I think I got to bring that hair back too in that photo people were saying, but I don't know if we can get that long again.
I love it. Now we have a couple of fans who are so excited about the opportunity to meet you. They each have a question. I know you're going to autograph a puck for them. So let's introduce our first guest for our meet and greet. It's Stephanie. She is calling in from Summit, New Jersey, and she says that her first ever hockey jersey was for one of your teammates, Artemi Panarin. Let's welcome in Stephanie.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, how's it going?
Good. How are you? Oh, I just asked that.
Good.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
So I was just wondering, because obviously, Jessica was just talking about growing up. You grew up a Ranger fan. So I was just wondering, like, what has been your most memorable experience so far as being a Ranger?
I think there's been a couple. It's hard to, pinpoint one. I think from, personally, I think playing my first game there and, I've said it before, going out for preseason and playing at MSG wasn't anything too crazy for me. But then the first game when, they call each player out one by one and you're out at center ice, that's when, I really had the butterflies and the nerves kicking in. And, then when I scored my first goal, it was, I was lucky to do it at MSG and kind of blacked out after. It was, insane feeling. And then, just the playoff games last year, I think, obviously, I went to playoff games as a fan, but to be on the ice during it and playing in that atmosphere, there's not much like that. And, the adrenaline rush you get from those games is, pretty high. And, I think those are some of the best experience I've had so far.
Yeah, no, I went to the first playoff game. That was my first playoff game I ever went to, the one you scored in, actually. So that was really fun.
Oh, nice.
That's awesome.
Good luck charm, I guess.
All right, Stephanie, yeah, that just means we got to get you back to some Rangers playoff games. Well,
Yeah.
Adam is going to sign a puck for you. Stephanie, what are your plans for that puck? You got a special place that you're going to display it?
Yeah, well, I actually, over the summer, I met you at one of those meet and greets. So I have your jersey signed. So I'll probably put
Awesome.
the puck near it.
Awesome. Well, we got the puck here signed for you, made out. So I got a nice little collection going, it looks like.
Thank you.
Very cool. Thank you so much, Stephanie. Nothing looks better than an autographed puck. They just look so cool.
Yeah, smooth.
Our next guest is Clarissa. She is from Wayne, New Jersey. And Adam, she says that she has been a fan of yours ever since you became a Ranger. Let's welcome in Clarissa.
Hi, Adam. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you. So, yeah, I've always been a Rangers fan since I was little. I've watched pretty much almost every game. I try to make sure, even if I have work or something, I try to record it and then watch it back that night because I don't want anything to be spoiled. And I'm also going to be going to your game in March against the Flyers, so I'll be there in person. But my dad also wanted to say hi. He's been a Rangers fan forever, and he's gotten me into the Rangers, and I've been like a diehard fan ever since. You want to say hi?
I am loyal fan. Long
I
time.
love it.
And then I wanted to ask you why you chose the number 23 for your jersey for the Rangers, if there was like any like specific meaning behind it or anything like that.
Yeah, good question. It's funny you bring that up. We were actually talking about it yesterday because Goody had a fan have his juniors jersey in the crowd, and he wore 23. And then we were talking about, the number and how I ended up picking it. And so my two numbers were 8 and 18. So obviously 18 was taken by Mark Stahl when I signed, and then Trubes signed and took 8. So neither of them were available, and I didn't really have attachment to any other numbers. And I played in this, summer showcase. It was for the World Junior Tournament, and they ended up giving me number 23 there. So I had seen myself in the number. So I'm like, all right, it actually looks decent wearing it. So that's pretty much how I got to it. So it's nothing crazy. I didn't have any big attachment, but obviously like the number a lot now.
Yeah, it was really nice meeting you.
Yeah, nice to meet you too. I got a puck here that I'm going to sign for you here.
That's a great question that you had, Clarissa. And also, I love, especially with the Rangers being an original 6 team, to see that passion for the Rangers, passed down from generation to generation.
Yeah, I will always be a Rangers fan no matter what. It'll definitely be passed down.
Yeah, same boat here. Same boat. But yeah, I got this puck signed for you. So we're gonna get that to you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for being a true fan.
Thanks.
Thanks, Clarissa. Great having you. And we are going to wrap up our fan meet and greets with Chris from Queens, New York. He said the best thing about hockey, and I really do think this is a perfect description, is the combination of grace and toughness. It's such a hard-nosed game where you can see some of the quickest and most graceful movements in all of sports, especially when you get a really good look at a guy with mad puck handling skills. Just such a great game. Let's welcome in Chris.
Hey, Adam. How's it going?
Hey, Chris. How's it going?
Good. Nice to meet you. Thank you for that game on Friday, by the way. That was an amazing ending to the game. Probably one of the best I've seen in years. I'm a teacher here in Manhattan. I teach middle school. I actually have one of my students here with me. He's a big Ranger fan, Sebastian. Want to join in?
Awesome. How's it going, Sebastian?
So I'm going to have Sebastian read the question for you.
If you could pick any starting five, including yourself, what other 4 players would you want to play alongside? It could be anyone from hockey, past or present.
Ooh, okay. Well, I'll start with goalie. I'm going to have to go Hank. I think, like most Ranger fans, I grew up watching him, was lucky enough to play a year with him here and get to know him a little bit. So, he'd definitely be my starting goalie. I guess I have to put myself on the back end just to, be invested in the team and be engaged there. I think I grew up watching Nick Lidstrom a lot, so he'd probably have to be my D partner. I think his game was something that I liked to, watch when I was growing up and kind of see what he did. It was, he wasn't the fastest guy out there. It was a lot of subtle stuff and little things that he did, so I always appreciated that. Up front, I guess got to put Gretzky up there. Best to ever do it. So easy choice. I'm going to go current. I'm going to say McDavid. I mean, playing against him, scary. The things he could do.
Sure.
Even in today's game, I think it's so hard to, separate yourself from a lot of the great players, and he's able to do that. And you see what he's doing this year. It's special. And for my third and final, a lot of forwards.
You're not going to hurt any feelings. Don't worry.
Yeah, I know. I'll probably go Yager. I mean, another guy who played for the Rangers too, but he just had a crazy ability of using his size and the skill he had with that. I mean, I was able to see him a little bit when I was younger and was a big fan of his. So I guess that would be my starting lineup. I'm sure left a couple of pretty good players off, but that'd be a fun starting 5 to play with.
Oh, when you're limited to 5, you're going to leave somebody off. Right?
Exactly.
It'd be a pretty tough team to beat, I got to say.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be gladly just passing the puck to those guys and trying to stay out of the way. So
I'm sure you'll not disappoint us.
Pretty fun.
Great. Well, thank you. Thank you for the excitement of watching you and the Rangers, and it's always a pleasure. And Sebastian will say thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. It was nice to meet you guys. I got a puck here that I'll sign for you, and
great.
Thank you for all the support, and nice to meet you too, Sebastian.
Of course.
Nice to meet you.
All right. Thanks a lot. Awesome. Thank you.
Nicely done. Great questions from everybody. And I love that you said Jaromir Jagr. Shout out to Yogs, who was still getting it done in his 40s.
Exactly.
So
I think 50. I think he's 50 now.
I think he's still playing somewhere around the world.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's scoring goals at 50. So
I love
probably
it.
still could make an impact in the NHL.
Absolutely. Well, those were our live fan meet and greets, but what's cool is fans have submitted questions on social media as well. So just a reminder to everybody watching, be sure to follow Fanatics on Instagram. Keep an eye out for those stories. That's how you're going to be able to submit questions for your favorite athletes. We're going to kick off the social media questions with Reese.
Hi, Adam. My name's Reese. I'm from the UK, and I wanted to know what your favorite on-ice moment has been. And I'd also like to wish you and the rest of the team the best of luck in trying to reach the Stanley Cup playoffs, because I know you guys can do it.
Awesome question from the UK. I didn't know.
I know.
A lot of hockey fans there, but I think similarly to my common answer would be, I think my first goal, because I mean scoring at MSG and just again it's a blackout moment after that, and then the Game 7 against Pittsburgh when Panarin scored the OT winner. I mean, I couldn't stop screaming in the pile that we had, and it was. I mean, the nerves and adrenaline that's going on in a Game 7, and then for a 10 like that, and be a part of that was a pretty crazy experience for me.
Nothing beats a Game 7, and nothing beats your first ever goal in the NHL. Our next social media question comes from Seth, and he said, if you could go back in time and play with any D-man other than your current partner, Ryan Lindgren, who would it be?
I like that other than Lindgren because he'd probably be my choice. But I'd have to pick Lidstrom. I mean, he was a guy I grew up watching, and I mean, the things he could do. I mean, I think 7 Norris trophies. His ability to slow the game down, and there were subtle things that I've heard people say about him. He tried to dump a puck past him. He's always knocking it down. So I always appreciated that stuff. I mean, I was never the biggest, fastest, strongest guy. So whenever someone did, little subtleties, and I think his nickname was Mr. Perfect or the perfect player, something like that. So, whenever you have that, I'm always, going to be looking for little things. And he was just a guy that I love to watch and see all those nuances of his game.
Hey, a fellow defenseman, Aaron Ekblad, that's his all-time favorite player too. So I'm sure he can certainly appreciate that. All right, let's take a quick break and hear a word from a sponsor before we get to our rapid fire round.
You're a fan, and fans who shop at Fanatics love earning fan cash. Now with FanCash Plus, you can earn even more fan cash while shopping for the things you already buy. Shop over 1,000 great brands online, and every purchase you make earns you fan cash.
And just a heads up, FanCash Plus just added 17,000 dining offers. So to take advantage of these new offers and more, register today at fancashplus.com. Let's welcome Adam back in. We're going to wrap things up with a rapid fire round of questions. I'm going to give you a question, and you say the first thing that comes to your mind. You ready?
Yep.
Let's do it. If you could have any superpower in the world, what would it be?
Probably the ability to fly.
I feel like that's one of the most popular ones. Who wouldn't want to fly? Yeah,
exactly.
You have an awesome partnership with Dunkin' Donuts. What is your go-to Dunkin' order?
So when I go to Dunkin', I usually get a wake-up wrap, keep it light in the morning, and I actually switched from coffee to tea recently. So I go with a black tea. I made the switch. I'd just been sticking with it, so that's my go-to order.
Was that a difficult switch because coffee is
yeah
the go-to in the morning?
Now I'm used to it. So it's I'm into the tea stuff now, mixing around with stuff. But yeah, it was a interesting switch at first.
Your dog Stewie is the cutest thing ever. Do you have any other nicknames for him? What do you call him besides Stewie?
I got a bunch of nicknames for him. But I usually stick to Stew Man. That's kind of my go-to. I like to call him Stooby Doo sometimes.
Love it.
That's a go-to. But yeah, I could talk about him for forever. It's my first dog, so I love the guy to death.
He is adorable. Everybody go to Adam's Instagram and take a look at the pup because the cutest. First celebrity crush.
Pretty standard answer. I was a big Friends guy, so I'm going to say Jennifer Aniston. I think she's, anyone my age, she's a pretty common choice.
Yeah. What rule, this is an interesting one, what rule would you like to see added to or changed in the NHL? Maybe do away with delay of game.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I like to get the power play sometimes when they send it out of play. So I don't know about that. I've seen a few overtime rules. I mean, I know that people have wanted 3-on-3 to go a little longer. I've seen some interesting stuff about taking it back over the red line on 3-on-3, where that's like a change of possession or something like that. It's a whistle. So stuff to kind of make 3-on-3 a little more back and forth and running gun like the fans like, but. Yeah, I'm sure there's a couple that could, make it a little more interesting for the fans.
Favorite golf course you've played?
Ooh, favorite golf course I've played. I played Winged Foot. It's around the area here. A few summers ago. That was a nice one for sure.
Last thing you got in trouble for?
With who?
I know. Yeah.
Probably something my girlfriend yelled at me about that I forgot that she told me to do. I probably happened today and I already forgot. So, yeah, I'd say that's my pretty standard one.
This is the one that I'm most curious to know your answer to. Toughest player to defend in the NHL?
Toughest player to defend. There's so many because there's so many different ones too where like I always say, obviously McDavid, Matthews, I think like Marchand, the way he's able to use his body, but then there's also like some guys you play against. When we play Carolina and you're playing against Jordan Staal and he's 6'5" and he just plants his body in front of the net, and I'm not the biggest guy, so I don't know what I'm supposed to do at this point. You just let him be there and hope the shot misses them. But there's so many different guys that play a different way that you respect what they're able to do in different ways. So, I think the McDavids and them, but also, the bigger guys too are a bit difficult as well.
Best dressed teammate who's got the best style on the team. And you can include yourself in that conversation as well.
It's not me. I'll be the first to admit it's not me. Key's got pretty good style. I know he's likes that fashion stuff, and Brett's got pretty good style too. He's they're different in the way their styles come off, but I respect both of them.
And this is an interesting one. The New York Rangers are the only professional team to not have a mascot. But if they did have a mascot, what do you think it should be?
Ooh.
It's kind of a tough question.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe like I was going to say a big Statue of Liberty, but I don't know if that's even a possible mascot.
That's not bad.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never thought about that. I'm not too into the mascots of the NHL, but I know some teams that I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Something New York, maybe just a slice of pizza or something. a big slice of pizza. No, I don't know, but probably the Statue of Liberty would be my go-to.
I think that's a great one. All right, before I let you go, do not tell me that this guy does not have style. Come on.
The hair doesn't grow like that anymore. It must have gotten thicker because it just goes like this now. I can't get it like that. I've tried to grow it out, but yeah, younger me had better style than me now. I must have lost my touch or something.
Well, Adam, thank you so much for the time. This was so much fun. Really appreciate just all of your great answers, for all the live meet and greets, all the questions on social media, all the rapid fire questions as well. We certainly wish you best of luck the rest of this season. The Rangers are just such a fun team to watch, including yourself, and good luck the rest of the way.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thanks for having me. It was a lot of fun.
All right. Take care, Adam. There he goes, Adam Fox. Certainly want to thank all of you that have had a chance to tune into today. Again, just a reminder, be sure to follow Fanatics on Twitter, on Instagram. It's going to give you all the information that you need to know as far as how you can get involved in one of these shows. And if you want to watch a past show, we've got some great ones with other hockey players. Just go to fanatics.com/live. We will see you next time for another edition of Fanatics Live.